Today, nearly 800 more National Guard members deployed to D.C. as part of the federal takeover. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley with a rundown of the operation and the changes you'll see in the district.
This is what we are seeing in D.C. during the federal takeover. You can see multiple tanks behind me as well as National Guard members, and this is at Union Station. President Donald Trump has now requested more National Guard members, and the governors of South Carolina and West Virginia are now sending in hundreds of them. And that's on top of the more than 100 D.C. Guard members that have already been deployed here. Now, what we learned from the White House is that at this point, they are not armed, but that they could be. I've been tracking everything that has been happening during this takeover. It was a week ago that the president announced he'd hold a press conference to stop violent crime in Washington, D.C. At the press conference Monday, the president announced it was, quote, Liberation Day for D.C. He put the D.C. Police Department under direct federal control.
Going to take our capital back. We're taking it back.
The mayor and other city officials responded for one of the first times following months of warnings from the president.
We are going to do our level best to maintain, as the chief talked about, to maintain the trust that D.C. residents have in us.
Tuesday, I was there as the D.C. National Guard arrived and was deployed in D.C.
He got the call yesterday around 2 p.m. Then he received some orders stating that he has to be deployed for the next 13 days.
7 News continued to track the impact on the ground from the takeover. D.C. crime was already going down before the takeover. Crime stats show no significant change.
I think a lot of us are questioning, and I definitely myself am questioning, why now with this federal takeover?
We learned from the White House that the operation started before Monday's announcement, adding that since last week, there have been 240 arrests, most undocumented immigrants. Thursday, Attorney General Pam Bondi handed over control of the D.C. Police Department to the head of the DEA.
We were surprised. Without notice, we got the order.
Attorney General Brian Schwab sued the Trump administration.
Very gratified that the judge today recognized that that is flagrantly illegal,
keeping MPD Chief Pamela Smith in control as D.C. police step up its cooperation with federal immigration officials during the enforcement takeover. The White House says there are 22 teams operating across D.C. right now. This will be the first full weekend under the federal takeover. The White House says there are still specialized teams developing for targeted enforcement. For now, reporting from Union Station, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
Felicia, thank you. 7 News just learned 200 National Guard members from South Carolina and 150 military police from the Ohio National Guard will also be deployed to D.C. We'll have Ohio Governor Mike DeWine saying these Ohio National Guard members will carry out presence patrols and serve as added security. That makes 3 additional states sending resources to D.C. for President Trump's order. And tonight, new information from the White House on the operation so far. They say, as Felicia just mentioned, there have been 240 total arrests since August 7th. They also say 38 firearms have been seized, and just last night, 52 arrests were made. White House officials say 28 of those 52 arrests were immigration related. And a protest of the federal takeover and the addition of more National Guard members happening in D.C. today. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser has repeatedly said that she wants to make sure the federal law enforcement surge is useful to the city. But she also has railed against it, calling the president's effort an authoritarian push. Now, along with the federal takeover, the Trump administration is also turning its attention to clearing homeless encampments. We've seen tents near K Street and Washington Circle cleared in Northwest. Now, we went back out to that area last night and found that many of the tents were gone. And just the day before, 7 News learned an unhoused woman's tent was tagged with a notice to clear out, but she was told she had until Monday. D.C. officials say they are working to meet with people in need before they are cleared out in order to offer them resources. Now, during a question and answer session, the mayor was asked if clearing out those encampments will be a burden on the D.C. system and where those who are unhoused can go. Take a listen.
Listen, we are very worried about this issue. I know from many conversations with President Trump that this is like his issue. Seeing homeless encampments I don't know, it just triggers something in him that has him believing that our very beautiful city is dirty, which it is not. And so I worry about this.
Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich says shelters and drop-in centers there are preparing for a potential influx of those needing services. And stay with 7 News for continuing coverage of the federal takeover and how it's impacting surrounding counties across the DMV. You can find updates anytime on WJLA.com.